Anderson, you can just see here, he has a tiny presence with the right arm onto the right shoulder of Stokes.
Bad week to do it though, Jason. There's been a couple go through in the last couple of weeks, and I think Jeff Gushin has made it clear that they've got to be paid.
It wasn't much of it at all.
Stretch it to 26 in the shadows of half-time. The Blues breathe a sigh of relief.
Maybe poetic justice.
Footy gods. You said they were here.
They often even out things in the long run, Jared.
Chris Johnson. Oh, gee, almost cut off. Ellard. And now Greg with a launch toward Cloak. Taylor's with him. And got the fist in. Cloak waited for the chest mark. Fisher got the handball up. Gets it back. Spins into trouble. Dumped by Taylor. Umpire wants them to knock it out, but they're not that keen on it. Still in there. Still the umpire, no whistle. And it comes out to Hogan, and the Cats are away. Taylor. Chapman. Not 20, surely. Well, it is. Simpson. And Jamison away from Hawkins with the fist. Blues will be pretty happy to go in at half-time with this margin staying at 21 points.
Harry Taylor's continued his good form in the second quarter. He is now up to 20 possessions. Clearly 5 ahead of the next best, which is Sean Grigg with 15.
West to Russell to Armfield. Wiggins and Fisher 2-on-2. They've both got a piece of it. Wiggins has paid the mark and maybe 50.
That's an interesting decision to pay that mark, because I thought Fisher had good purchase on it at one stage.
Well, if it was a mark, then it was 50, surely. Because you can't throw them down after a mark. David Ellard. Armfield. Inside a minute to half-time. You heard the call, we go.
He missed a relative sitter in the first quarter. This one, obviously a lot more difficult. More than likely going to kick it.
Still gettable, but he sprays it. Top of the square. Cloak!
Unselfish play from the Chief.
He is having,
Top of the square.
He's having a shocker with balls off the boot. Simon Higgins.
Good mark from Cameron Cloak. His hands tonight have been superb, and he looks to me like he's spent a fair bit of time working on this over summer. Just have a look. Gets it at the top of the flight. Big vertical leap. He's going to be a much improved player this season.
Well, this will keep them close enough if they're good enough, the Blues, to pull it back to 15 points. It's there. And the Blues are still a chance to play next Friday night's NAB Cup Grand Final against Collingwood. The Cats lead, though. They've got a super goal and 4-7-40 to Carlton. 3-7-25. Don't go away. We might have a big last half coming up.
Steve Johnson, will he play forward, or will he have a run through the middle?
He's gone straight forward, and you might just see a little bit of wizardry from him in the second half.
Well, they need to, and I think one of the things coming out of that grand final was that they could have played him deeper in attack. I know you were surprised that he didn't play a bit closer to goal, Jason, and given that Gary Ablett's playing a fair bit more down there, I think they're going to have more of their A-graders close to goal than perhaps they did at various stages last year.
Has caused a reshuffle in defence for the Cats. Harry Taylor still on Cameron Cloak, but it looks like Darren Milburn is going deep. In fact, Milburn's going to pick up Cloak, and Harry Taylor's gone back onto Hampson, who's playing out of the square.
We're away in the second half of the NAB Cup semi-final. The winner to play Collingwood here next Friday night in the grand final, and we'll get a secondary ball up with Ottens and Cruiser to go at it again. 40 plays 25. 15 points the margin. Ottens, it'll tap. Ablett, it's an ace. Bump as he got the kick away. It's a wide ball. Rook leads the chase. Bauer almost had him by the hand and slips it to Ablett. Good tackle. And Stevens didn't get a reward there for that tackle. That's a throw, surely. That's not rewarded either. Armfield put it over the top to Grigg, and Ling sees it out of play.
Well, Gary Ablett was good enough, Dwayne, I think, to get his boot on the ball. And the umpire gave him the benefit of the doubt just in time.
Ottens again towards Ablett. Stolen, though, brilliantly by Johnson. And the Blues are away. Fisher bumped on the mark. Open forward line. Thumps it long. Hampson with the drop. Got a hand to it. Couldn't mark it. Taylor, he almost stolen from him by Garlett. Cloak, boundary line, ball in.
Once again, we see Hampson jumping off the two legs. He's just got to learn in his development to stick a knee in the back and get off one leg.
Clever palm down by Hampson to Nick Stevens, the captain tonight, in the absence of all those Blues stars.
Jared, how have you seen Aaron Joseph's performance on Gary Ablett? Ablett with the 12 possessions to date.
Pretty solid. I think he's been hard at it. And, I mean, if you can keep Gary Ablett to under 20 in a match, you've done a darn good job.
Corey to Milburn to Steve Johnson. First touch for the night is a good touch to Rook. Again, the open forward line. Simpson can peel back. He's already got one. That's the bend, but it doesn't bend enough. Scott Simpson played in the NAB Cup last year as well for the Cats, but couldn't manage a home and away game for them last year, so still yet to make his home and away debut. Scott Simpson.
First injection from Steve Johnson creates a goal-scoring opportunity for the Cats. Now it's Carlton on the rebound.
And the fist from David Johnson sees it out. Eddie Betts, who has just joined us, spent the majority of the first half on the bench. Cloak likely to do the ruck work against Ottens, even though Milburn's almost protecting him. Cruiser with the palm down to Betts, who dropped it, got it again, got a kick away, but it found Ablett, who dashes clear. Ling, now the overlap. Kelly, back inboard. Why not give it back to Ablett? Stops, and then Kelly again. The leads come inside 50, getting there. Lonergan.
Got to go back and have the shot. He was thinking about Joel Corey leading long to the square, but he's a 45-degree angle, 40 metres out. These are the ones that have to become bread and butter for your key forwards.
No one's really cemented their spot at the full forward position for Geelong. Cameron Mooney still to come back, likely to spend a fair portion of this year there. But Lonergan's one of the options. Tom Hawkins, an option. He misses to the near side.
Just very quickly, going back to that last throw-in, have a look at the value of having Cruiser and Cloak. Cloak takes the front, Cruiser takes the second.
Third man up, and Eddie Betts should have taken it away. Trouble is, you can't do that at a centre bounce, so why have two big men in at the centre square?
Johnson to Armfield, to Russell, caught, Anderson in trouble. Russell forced to backtrack, snapped it up and gave back to Armfield with some space. Short. In his back, Cruiser's ball.
Although, as you say, Jared, part of his overall education and matched up against players like Joel Corey playing as a ruck rover.
Cruiser, who also spent the majority of the first half on the bench, to Cloak, with a fly at it. Harry Taylor outreached him and outread him. Ling got it from Kelly, gave it to Hunt, to the midfield to Steve Johnson, just with the one paw. And now the pop-up pass toward half forward. Varco in space. Can go the journey here. Doesn't want to. Centering kicks poor. Cruiser gobbles it up, gives to Stevens, and now the Blues away. Hampson out wide. Cloak called in by Hampson. Cruiser got it from Russell, but no one really to give it to now. Short pass towards Garlett. Tapped it to his own advantage, but stolen by Kelly. Corey, Ling, so many superstars in this Cats lineup. Kelly, Wide and Ottens.
Do you think sometimes going into their forward line, Jason, that Geelong have got too many options and it's not structured enough?
Armfield down to Jamison.
Well, I think the players have got to be good enough to pick the best option there. They've got a lot of intelligent midfielders. There are a number of players there that are looking to cement a spot that I just don't think have really put their hand up and said, I want this one. And another one that fits into that forward line is Travis Varco, Jared.
Ellard to Fisher. Gee, that had to be pinpoint